A couple of years ago, me and a buddy went camping in the woods. We were both 17, a little careless, thinking nothing bad could happen to us. It was late on a Friday afternoon. We had just finished school, grabbed our backpacks, and headed straight out to the woods just outside the city. We packed the basics: tent, food, water, nothing fancy, just enough for a single night. Richard, my friend, brought a pair of his dad's old walkie-talkies. Heavy, scratched-up things from the 90s, but still working. We thought it'd be fun to play around with them, pretend we were soldiers or something. The hike started great. The air was cool, the leaves just starting to turn. We talked about everything: school, movies, stupid inside jokes. We were so caught up in conversation that we didn't notice how fast the light was fading. By the time we looked up, the sun was dipping low behind the tree line. We still hadn't eaten. The plan was to set up camp before dark at a spot Richard's parents had told us about. He'd been there before, but I could tell he didn't quite remember exactly where it was. We had it marked on the map, but in the fading light, the trails all looked the same. That's when I felt the first flicker of unease. Not fear, just the realization that we weren't as sure of ourselves as we thought. Richard suggested we split up, not far, maybe 100 meters apart, and walk parallel to each other. That way we could cover more ground and spot the campsite faster. Plus, it'd give us an excuse to mess around with the walkies. So we split, moving slowly, calling out fake military chatter over the radios. At first it was funny, but then the static started to crackle. I figured I had wandered too far, and then I heard it. Through the hiss and pop, a slow, deep voice.
"Turn around."
I froze. I thought it was Richard, but it didn't sound like him. The voice was heavier, drawn out. I glanced over my shoulder. Nothing but trees and shadow. I tried calling Richard. Just static. So I started walking back toward where I thought he was. Then, again, that same voice. Even slower, even lower.
"Turn around."
This time my skin crawled. My heart was in my throat. Then, a sharp snap of a branch off to my left. I whipped my head toward the sound and shouted, "Hey!" Something moved in the bushes. First, I thought it was an animal, but then it straightened up. A man, dressed head to toe in black. Not just dark clothes, tight, almost skin-like material that made him look faceless. Featureless. Like a shadow wearing human form. He didn't move. He didn't speak. He just stood there, angled toward me, his head tilted slightly, like he was studying me. My whole body went cold. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but for a moment, I couldn't move. Then my legs kicked in and I bolted. The forest lured past me. It felt like running through a nightmare. Slow, heavy, like I was dragging my body through water. Behind me, I heard it. Footsteps pounding, closing the distance. Then, through the crackling radio, Richard's voice cut in. "Where are you?" I screamed his name. He shouted back. He'd found the campsite, told me to run toward his voice. I focused on the sound, not daring to look back. My lungs were on fire, my legs burning. I could hear him, whoever he was, still behind me. But the sound started to fade. When I saw Richard through the trees, I didn't stop until I was next to him. I doubled over, gasping, trying to explain what I'd seen. He thought I was messing with him, until I told him about the black suit. Then his face changed. He told me he'd heard the same deep voice on his walkie. We didn't have phone service, and night had fully fallen. The forest around us was black, the kind of dark where you can barely see your own hands. We decided to climb a tree, maybe 3 meters up, and wait until morning. We left our gear below. It was too heavy to drag up. The hours crawled. Every creak of the branches, every rustle of leaves had me gripping the bark tighter. At some point, Richard drifted off. I couldn't. My eyes kept darting to the ground below, searching for movement. Then, footsteps. They were slow and deliberate. He emerged from the shadows, the same man. The same black, skin-tight outfit. He crouched over our gear, rifling through it silently. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. My heart was beating so hard I thought he might hear it. After what felt like forever, he stood, turned, and melted back into the trees. We stayed in that tree until the first gray light of dawn. Then we climbed down, grabbed what was left of our stuff, and headed straight out of the woods. We called our parents from the road. They picked us up and took us straight to the police. Weeks later, the police found some of our missing gear, along with items from other hikers. They told us that part of the woods gets frequent reports of missing items, but they'd never caught anyone, so whoever he is, he's still out there. And I still wonder to this day what that man wanted. What he would have done to me or Richard if he had caught us. I'm just glad he didn't.